Wubba lubba dub dub!
So yeah, seeing that Rick and Morty are returning for an 8th season, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about another creation from Justin Roiland, High on Life.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Before you say anything, no, I'm not talking about the controversy with Justin Roiland.
For one, the game has nothing to do with it besides Justin voicing some of the characters. And secondly, I don't want to touch on that type of subject.
So let's begin.
High on Life is a first-person shooter adventure platform game from developer Squanch Games. It resembles sci-fi games such as Doom, BioShock, and Portal, but unlike those games, it definitely doesn't take itself seriously.
Or doesn't have a cynical killer robot.
You monster.
The game's overall plot focuses around an Earth invasion by the G3 cartel, led by Garmantuous, played by Hal Lublin, who intends to turn humans into drugs.
I don't know whether to call that clever commentary or ironically funny.
The player character, with their sister Lizzie, voiced by Laura Silverman, teams up with an alien gun named Kenny, played by Justin Roiland, to combat this threat. Now a bounty hunter trained by Gene Zorithian, voiced by David Herman, the player is tasked with defeating the G3 leaders and rescuing captive Gatlians, a species with unique combat abilities.
So it's a first-person shooter sci-fi game where you hunt down the cartel and collect their bounty.
Unlike most art styles of the genre, I guess the game wanted to go for an art style similar to Blade Runner meets the Muppets. The claymation art style has a vibrant and colorful aesthetic with assets and environments that are detailed enough to be visually engaging. Also, the frame rate refers to the visual quality and fluency of the game's performance.
Not to mention, each cartel setting is unique depending on which cartel member you're hunting.
Each planet in the game is well detailed in the game, and each ally has a unique personality.
Which is good because the game comes with a large ensemble cast.
Including Roland, we also got talents like JB Smoove, Tim Robinson, Betsy Sodaro, Michael Cusack, Hal Lublin, Laura Silverman, David Herman, Kevin McDonald, Mike Stokowska, Tom Kenny, Echo Kellen, James Rubinek, Mara Bamford, Joel Haver, Wayne Pilgrim, Andy Daly, Zach Hadel, Rich Fulcher, Thomas Mikodich, Jack Black, and Susan Sarandon. Of course, some voicing some of the weapon creatures you rescue called the Gatlins.
Yeah, I hate the name too.
You know, you had to kill them, right? It was either them or you, and me as well, and I would prefer to live.
Good thing each Gatlin has their own abilities and upgrades as the player progresses throughout the game. Of course, there's Kenny being the first weapon in the game, similar to a pistol. Gus, a chill nice shotgun with a vacuum and a disc launcher attached. Sweezy, a rude and condescending submachine gun. Creature, a kind and curious grenade launcher. And Let's Do It, who is a born leader and a legendary hero of the Gatling Resistance.
He's basically like the BFG from the Doom franchise.
You also get Knifey, who, not surprisingly, has a thirst for blood and loves it as you do takedowns on the cartels and tear off a piece of their flesh.
You should see this! Oh, ripping through his drill tendons like they're butter! Oh, fuck! Oh!
You can also use them to tether to places and loot chests.
What?
I don't know, I was just so distracted by the hilarious carnage.
I guess I should also talk about the DLC of the game High on Knife, where the story follows Knifey's low-stakes quest to reunite with his people, with some enjoyable bits sprinkled throughout. The adventure also introduces a new bounty, a pinball gun, poaching rings, and an intergalactic shipping company.
Oh, and this disappoints you?
To give the game credit, it's not all mindless gunfire gameplay.
High on Life blurs the line between active gameplay and passive consumption by allowing players to watch full-length, often terrible, alien TV shows and movies within the game. This, combined with a sensory overload and constant dialogue and vibrant visuals, creates a distorting yet deeply immersive experience that constantly challenges traditional gaming expectations and leaves players both entertained and a little unhinged.
There's also mini-games as well.
One involving filing paperwork for one of the cartel members trying to hunt them down. Much like other Justin Roiland properties, they have a lean on meta humor when it comes to the story, even having some of the trophies be meta.
Perfect! thank you. You know, you guys figured out that whole plan for us. You know, that really means a lot. You know, it clears things up for us, you know, anyway. Yep.
With that said, the game has a few problems. The biggest around the writing involved.
Much like Rick and Morty and Trevor Saves the Universe, you're either going to love the humor of the game or hate it. Plus, seeing that the game is around 22 hours long, it will depend on how you feel hearing the entire story. I also heard the game had to get a patch for a few technical issues, but I got the game on PS5 and it plays very well.
In short, if you're a fan of Rick and Morty or the comedy style of Justin Roiland, you'll like this game fine.
In short, this game is a comedic adventure full of gunplay, with a bit of esoteric, raunchy humor with a bad taste. So I would give this game a 7 out of 10 brapples.
I guess you're not a completionist, huh?
Anything else about the game you want to add? Well, leave them down in the comments below. I'm Galactic Knight, and I'll see you guys next time.